Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you? I'm not expecting a response.
No, because the viewer is yet to get out of bed or something. But anyway, last week, was it last week? Is it only so recently?
Last week, yes, feels like yesterday, doesn't it?
I know. The days, they fly past. We said we were going to have a smoke along, wasn't it? You wanted
smoke
a smoke
along.
along.
Smoke along, yes.
And you suggested the Cohiba Robusto as being the
cigar with which we should film the smoke along.
Exactly.
And smoke.
Now, the Cohiba Robusto is a very important cigar. For me, because it was, when I started smoking cigars, this was the cigar. This was the...
It still is. I mean,
Vehique almost of. I mean, this was the kind of nec plus ultra of cigars.
Yeah.
In the year it was launched, which I think was 1989. Is that right?
1989. Yes.
25,000 were made. That is all. Can you imagine such a small number?
Was it 89? Was it the last of the Linea Classica to be released? I think it might have
I
been.
think it...
Because that 89, because I know...
Yeah, 89 was a bunch of Linea Classicas. They only had the three to start with. They had the Corona Extra, the Laguito #1 Lancero, and the Panatella.
Yeah, the Coronas Especial, you mean?
The Coronas Especial, sorry.
Yeah.
All with pigtail tops.
Yes.
Apart from the Panatella.
And the latest to be released, that was the 2012 Pyramidas Extra, which was the last to be added to the same line as this.
Okay.
Where they changed the band.
So tell me, why don't you clip your cigar and set fire to it? Otherwise we might be taxing.
Oh, I've probably just sold something on eBay. How exciting. I feel the vibrations in my pocket. We don't have an ashtray, but do we?
Ah, yes. Our friends, you'll be wondering about the African theme here. We've been quite subtle. We have the crocodile. Shot it myself this morning in Shepherd's Bush, and Max stuffed it.
That was in the frog pond in the child's play area.
That was in the frog pond in the child's play area. We shot it and stuffed it this morning. You carved this little African style mask.
That was from my days in the bush. No, that's more Australian, isn't it? No, this was
could be bush, could be. And then this, of course, says fly BOAC to Africa, which nobody will be doing soon because of the lockdown. But anyway, here we are, and this is because our good friends at
the Mr. Mavroses.
The Mr. Mavroses.
I've only had the pleasure of
You've met the Mr. Mavros himself, haven't you, Patrick
I've
Mavros?
seen him in real life, but Did I speak to him and gave him to Davidoff? Looking very no, what was the man?
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee.
You are channeling Mortimer Wheeler today. So Mortimer Wheeler, one of the first celebrity TV architects, archaeologists and architects.
Africa. Here we are in Africa.
Africa.
The place of big game. What was it? Big game and something else. Yeah. So here we are. So we've best open the ashtray in that case. Let me do this while you're lighting yours. We'll open it up so we can use it straight away. Let me move these drinking vessels of fruit juice. Now, how does this work? Ooh, look at that!
Look at it! It's like a house.
Oh, what happened? Wow! Whoa!
Whoa! Can we have a close up here, please?
Is that an ashtray? How does that work? Wow!
Wow! You've got even like a cigarette bit.
You've got a cigarette and a cigar
and
bit.
it's got black stones of immense value for the eyes, and there's what are they like?
Oh, you've got a monkey smoking a cigar.
Are they smoking a cigar?
They're smoking a cigar. No! Wow!
Well, come on, get it out.
We've got another one.
We've got another one.
How do we get it out? We've got to be careful with this. Ooh! Place this here. Move this out the way. Ooh!
And look.
And get this ribbon out of the way as well. How exciting!
I have to say,
Will you open that
cigar
one
is
while I light
smoking
mine?
beautifully.
If you open that one, I'll light mine. And then, yes, so these are El Laguito cigars. So we're rolled in the Cohiba factory.
This is a really good one. This was designed by Alexander Mavros himself for his father.
Amazing. Smells great, the cigar.
Look at this, look at this. Look at the level of African imagery.
Amazing.
Oh, amazing.
Here we are. Look at that. Which do you prefer? Whoa, this is great. This is the tortoise. This is the tortoise shell in the back. This is like a
tortoise. You got like upside down hippopotamus. I mean, Mortimer Wheeler would go for this one, I think, really, because it's so rich in imagery.
And that's obviously the larger game. So let's see. Let's test it
Well,
out.
I think that there's quite big game there. But I mean, look. There's a hippopotamus here, and a crocodile, and then small and then look at that.
That's amazing. I mean, what you can do is you can even rest it further along like that. So
yes, I mean, what level of? I mean, look. We've got to get one for Gilbert here, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, these are great. Actually, I love these.
I love them. It's a shame we've got to give them back.
That is a great shame. Yeah,
because they would enhance any dwelling. But anyway, Patrick is a great cigar smoker, isn't he? And Sir Mortimer Wheeler did a program in 1958 for the BBC called King Solomon's Mines, where he went to Zimbabwe, actually the old lost city of Zimbabwe, to look for King Solomon's Mines. Couldn't find them, I don't think.
Is this what we were watching?
That was what we were watching for your style tips, Sir Mortimer. Chasing, he went with his pipe.
He was walking around with his pipe in a similar safari suit.
He was wearing a similar safari suit to what you're wearing, and he was chasing hippopotami.
He was, yes.
He was going, shoo,
oh no, he was chasing after them, wasn't he?
And
finding it hilarious.
Great man.
As if they wouldn't kill you in the kind of.
No, as if they are sort of very placid and like a domestic cat.
Yeah.
But back to the cigar. This is what? It's quite young. I mean, not young, but it's got that sort of. Also,
I noticed that as soon as it.
It's got that sort of extra edge to it, hasn't it? It's not overly young, but it's a young cigar.
Well, as soon as I lit it, you got the kind of the spice that you associate with the younger cigar, or kind of. But now, actually, after a few puffs, it's settled down. You know, almost instantly. No spice there now.
I mean, I find this size absolutely ideal. I mean, this was a big cigar.
So yes, it was Simon Chase that described this generation of smokers as the Robusto generation, or it was the Robusto revolution.
I think it was the Robusto. I'm not the Robusto generation.
No, I'm meant to be the Robusto generation.
No.
Am I not?
No, I think you must be
you're
probably the Toro. You're probably the 60 ring gauge revolution, or the 80 ring gauge revolution.
Probably, yes.
Except, of course, you smoke 38 ring gauge by preference.
Yeah, of course. Or slimmer, 33, 30.
33, the punch, and in fast.
Yeah. So, what was I saying? So yes, the Robustos. I think the first Robusto to have made that was the Partagas D4, and I think that's 1930 or something like that. It was released.
That is amazing.
And then after that, they had the Hoyo Epicure No. 2, the Remonet, and especially selected.
They were 1960s.
They were 1960s. And obviously the newer releases, there's the Cohiba
Robusto.
Even newer than that is the Romeo and Julieta Short Churchill,
which is a sensational cigar. That name was the Flor de Cano Short Churchill, was a legendary Robusto size cigar when I was starting, so around about 1990, 1991. Absolutely legendary cigar, the Short Churchill. Of course, they discontinued it because it was too good.
The Flor de Cano one?
Flor de Cano, the original from before you were born. I mean, this was before you were born.
I didn't even know that existed.
No, but that's where they got the name from. And I find that Romeo, that Short Churchill, a dependable...
It's very dependable.
I've never had a dud one, actually.
No, I haven't. But I mean,
the Wide Churchill's even better.
I've never had a dud one, but I've never had a hugely exciting one. I've just had a very decent one. You know, it's nothing to like kind of blow your socks off, or it's just something you smoke every day, which you get the same thing every time, hopefully.
Well, if they can achieve quality and consistency, that's a good thing.
I don't know why I said that. That was just a silly thing to say.
It's a silly thing to say because you're going to get somebody coming in saying, "Listen, Squire, I had two extremely different experiences with these." So who do you sell these to, these Cohiba Robustos mainly? And talk us through the bands, actually, because you've done some extra homework on the bands.
Well, no, there's always the there's a few different bands. The first ever Cohiba band, you know, was I think black, completely black, with red Cohiba written on it, which is very interesting. And then you had what are we doing? Smoke. So we had the Cohiba band. Yeah, so here's the band. This is the newest band. So this was brought in 2012 with the Pyramidas Extra that was released into the Linea Classica. Before that, there was a band which was embossed, slightly more attractive than this one in my eyes. Before that, they weren't embossed. So you had the main ones were from 82 to 92,
which is when I was introduced, and I thought this was so chic, this band, because all the other bands at the time had this very sort of 19th century feel to them, or early 20th century. I mean, it was you either had brown and white, which would be it would be Monte Cristo, Upman, and Rafael Gonzalez had this kind of brown and white or sepia band, or you had these sort of more extravagant Victorian-looking ones, and then this was a sort of Mad Men era design, you know. I mean, it was just so chic, and I mean, this is because they wanted this to be I mean, you know the story behind this, don't you? That it was the year after the missile crisis, early 1963.
Okay.
And Chicho, who was the driver of Fidel, was sitting in the Oldsmobile, 1960 Oldsmobile, I understand, waiting for his boss, and he'd been given some cigars by his friend who was a roller, and he smoked them, and he was lost in contemplation of infinity with this amazing cigar when Fidel said, "What are you smoking, Chicho?" To which he said, "Comandante, may I proffer you one of these fine cigars rolled by my friend?" And he liked it so much that it became the state gift, and this was proof that socialist Cuba could make a cigar superior to capitalist Cuba.
But it wasn't available for the regular people, was it? Up until 82. 82, I think, is when it... In
Madrid they launched it, I think, didn't they?
There we go. So it was just for heads of states and visitors, wasn't it? And it was obviously only the Laguito #1, and was the 2 size? Was the Coronas Especial?
I think there were 3. They launched the 3 sizes.
All 3 together.
It was Celia Sanchez, the so-called flower of the revolution, one of Fidel Castro's close assistants, who came up with the name Cohiba as being related to the original Taino Indian word.
Yeah. Cohiba it was the Cohiba was the bunch of tobacco that Christopher Columbus saw them smoking.
Like sort of tobacco trumpets.
Yes. And the Behique, I think, is the kind of the priest or the witch doctor inside of the tribe, or something along those lines.
What a world we live in.
Yeah.
What a world we live in.
Very Africa.
It is actually. Yeah. You're quite right. Witch doctory.
Yeah.
Well, shall we pause filming for a little while?
Well, what have you got as flavors so far?
Spice.
Woodiness, earthiness.
No earthiness, actually. A spice, and a kind of really. I mean, you know, I like tangy. I like that kind of, almost like a coffee. Like I'm not like a Kopi Luwak, because I mean I know that's your favourite, but you've got that sort of coffee body to it.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Tang. It's a proper cigar. This.
I strangely enough thought I tasted coconut just then.
You know what I was going to say? Vanilla. There's something almost like soft and velvety about it.
I don't really like coconut, to be honest.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
But yes, we'll pause filming and continue once we've progressed.
These are from the El Laguito factory, aren't they?
They are indeed. So,
which is the original home of Cohiba, and it was
the home of Cohiba.
Originally the property of a treacle magnate called Fowler. When you go to Havana, you will no doubt visit it. It looks like somebody has taken a wedding cake to an architect and said, "Please, can you supply me with a palace that looks exactly like this wedding cake?" It is a marvelous edifice. It's like if they turned Buckingham Palace or Blenheim into a cigar factory. Blenheim. But anyway,
so the construction is lovely.
The construction is
amazing.
As you
can see, our ash is growing stronger by the minute.
Yeah.
Or weaker by the minute.
Weaker by the minute, but still there.
Flavor-wise, I'm getting those coffee notes. It's just very smooth cigar.
Espresso, but smooth.
When I said young, I mean, I don't think I was telling the truth, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's
2018.
2018
was the box date.
But the thing is probably the extra fermentation anyway. It's sort of almost
in the barrels and
in the
as
barrels.
they do,
The
yes.
third fermentation, in fact, it's about 50 degrees centigrade, I think, isn't it?
So what I was going to do now is I was going to ash my cigar in the ashtray. Could you tell us more about the Mavroses, the creators of these fine?
Mavros is amazing. He's like he's like a character from Wilbur Smith novel or H. Rider Haggard novel, in that he is this fabulous man. He sort of was a member of the Selous Scouts, which was a sort of special forces unit, and yet he's also a great symbol of reconciliation in Zimbabwe, in that he was on the different sides of Joshua and Como, and yet they met aboard an Air Zimbabwe aircraft and clasped each other to their bosoms like brothers, which was apparently reported nationwide as this great act of reconciliation. And also, which I find amazing, is that this man who was this special forces soldier was also an extremely sensitive artist who was making earrings for his wife. And
amazing,
beautiful earrings, apparently. Very sensitive. And thereafter it became this, I wouldn't say an empire, but something approaching an empire, because they got about sort of 20 children, I think. All of them very, very macho young men.
They're great.
My great friend is Alexander.
The videos of them, say, kind of taking huge pythons out of bushes and stroking them as if it's a hamster or something.
It's
like
all
that.
they seem to do. I mean, they make Mortimer Wheeler look like a sissy. Do you know what I mean? They'll sort of run and wrestle a crocodile to the ground and open its jaws merely to examine its teeth.
At the same time, making
a
solid
solid silver ashtray.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get them failed so far to make, because they do these elephant hair bangles in silver, which are adjustable. You've seen one that I have in Spain I wear.
Yes.
I want one in gold, but they've so far avoided making one for me.
Why? Why is that?
I have absolutely no idea, but anyway.
Silver's good. I prefer silver. I mean, I can afford silver.
I know you prefer
in some
silver.
cases.
But this was an ashtray designed by Alexander for his father.
That's a lovely one with the hippopotamus and the tortoise shell, but I still like my monkey smoking a golden cigar.
It's a gold cigar, solid gold cigar.
That's you simply can't get better than that.
No, and the old capital Zimbabwe, as Sir Mortimer Wheeler would have told us, was often they found bits of gold there because it was a sort of royal city. So there we have it: Sir Mortimer Wheeler, Fidel Castro,
Simon
Chase.
Mavros
is Gilbert, or whatever we called him.
Gilbert. Gilbert's got a cigar, and it's from El Laguito as well. We've really kind of
treated Gilbert rather too well.
Yes, I mean, aside from killing him this morning,
and stuffing him this afternoon, as you did. Yes.
Yeah, we've given him a cigar to
compensate for the inconvenience of being killed and stuffed and appearing on a broadcast.
There we go. Yes.
Well, do you think that's enough, or do you have a final? I mean, so there's a sort of honeyed quality almost about it as you get further down, don't you find?
It just gets smoother and smoother, really. I suppose you could say honey, yeah. That vanilla quality or coconut quality is coming through again. The spice has disappeared since the very beginning. It hasn't come back. I've not noticed it really.
Touch of coffee.
Coffee, yes.
And touch of dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate, yes, dark chocolate. There, that bitter sweetness.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate.
But the vanilla is not a sort of bland vanilla. It's a kind of smooth and Madagascan vanilla.
Madagascan, finely ground.
Finely ground.
Finely ground Madagascan vanilla.
Well, do you think that's enough?
I think that might be another thing I've sold on eBay. How exciting! This is great. I can afford another Cohiba Robusto after this. So this is great.
And who buys them in the shop in Davidoff?
Well, it's just like,
these were given to us by Eddie, weren't they? These ones.
Very kindly picked out a nice El Laguito 3-pack for us. It's such a well-known cigar that anyone, you don't even have to recommend it for someone to move towards it. The only thing that might dissuade them from getting it is the price, because they're always more expensive Cohiba than other cigars are.
But I'm getting this lovely sort of flavour to the front of the palate here. I mean, the thing is, life is really too short to smoke bad cigars, I find.
Yeah.
That should be our family motto, really.
Should be our family
in
motto,
Latin
yes.
or ancient Greek or something like that.
Life's too short to smoke bad cigars. Yeah, in the Latin's very easy language.
Latin's a very easy language, as you
It's
know.
one of the easiest.
Ancient
Remember
Greek.
when I did that for GCSE? You told me it was the easiest subject there is.
All you had to do was learn it.
All you had to do was, so I went into the class and they were like, why are you doing it, Max? And I was like, apparently it's very easy. It wasn't.
So we added Latin, discussion of Latin literature to this great broadcast. This possibly is the widest ranging broadcast we have ever done.
I think it might be, it ranges to Africa and back.
Yep.
You know.
Via the Roman Empire.
Via the Roman Empire.
And Simon Chase.
Via aqueduct.
Yes. And anyway, thank you very much indeed. And we are fighting the virus one corona at a time.